People struggle with apostrophes, and it's understandable. Most students know that apostrophes are used for contracted words. For example, cannot becomes can't. We've taken the letters NO out and we want our reader to know that. So what we do is insert an apostrophe here. This informal way of writing is quite handy, especially in a persuasive writing where the use of contracted words mirror everyday speech. For example, do not becomes don't, will not becomes won't, shall not becomes shan't, and must not becomes mustn't. Would have, we take out the letters H and A, and it becomes would of, never would of. And could have becomes could have, but never could of. Another way that we use apostrophes is to show belonging. So for example, the coats belonging to the boy were in the hallway. And we can see the boy. There's one of him, one boy, and all these coats belong to him. And the rule is that where you've got a singular noun, here there's only one boy, the rule is that you have to use an apostrophe before the S. So this sentence here can be rewritten to read, the boys' coats were in the hallway. So one boy, apostrophe before the S, and you put it after the boy. So the rule is, if the noun is singular, as it was with the boy, then the apostrophe goes before the S, like this. Now don't worry if your subject, single subject, ends in the letter S, as in the word James and Charles. The rule still applies. You insert an apostrophe S after the name. James's coats were in the hallway, it's James Bond, and Charles's coats were in the hallway. You now might ask, what happens when the noun is a plural? So for example, here are two boys, there's more than one boy, and the coats belong to them. Now the boys, the word is a regular plural. We know one boy and then more than one, we just add S on the end. So if this is the case, the rule is that the apostrophe goes after the S. So the coats belonging to the boys, there's more than one boy, regular S on the end, apostrophe after the S, and you can rewrite your sentence to show belonging, the boys' coats were in the hallway. So the rule is, if the noun is a plural ending in S, then the apostrophe goes after the S. Knowing how to spell your plurals is quite important when you come to using apostrophes. So these are what we call regular plurals. There are rules that you can follow. The most common way of making a plural is by adding S, one dog, plus S, many dogs. And the rule here is, if there is a consonant before the Y, we delete the Y and we add IES. And if the word ends in X, we add ES. If it ends in SH, we add ES, etc. So these are rules that you can follow to turn a word from singular to plural. Here are some sentences that show belonging. Please could you rewrite them, showing the belonging by the use of an apostrophe. So if you'd like to pause it now and have a go at these sentences, and then we'll go through them together. Okay, so let's have a look at some answers. The first sentence, the collar belonging to the dog. There is only one dog, and the rule is that the apostrophe goes before the S. The gown belonging to the lady was beautiful. There's only one lady, again, apostrophe before the S. The hats belonging to the ladies were ready. A regular plural, we know that it ends in S. There's more than one, so the apostrophe goes after the S. The corners of the box were dangerous. There's one box, so the rule is before the S. And finally, the bristles belonging to the brushes were damaged. There's lots of brushes because we know it ends in S here, ES, so therefore the apostrophe goes after the S. So what happens when you've got plurals that don't end in an S? Well, we call those irregular plurals. They don't end in S. Can you think of any? Here are some examples. One man, many men. One woman, many women. One child, many children. and one person, many people. There are no rules for these plurals, you just have to learn them. And have you noticed there are no S's on the end of these words? So, I've got a sentence here. The clothes belonging to the children were dirty. Here are the children with their dirty clothes. Now I know that children is an irregular plural and it doesn't end in S. So the rule is that you must put the apostrophe before the S. And we can rewrite this sentence to read, the children's coats were dirty. And in the case of men, the firemen's hoses were damaged. And for the word people, the people's decision was unexpected. So when you have an irregular plural, such as the word children, and you want to show belonging, the coats belonging to the children, we use an apostrophe before the S. Sometimes, especially in England, you will see words written like this, Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Have you ever wondered why? Well, the reason why the apostrophe is in there is because it actually refers to the supermarket. The supermarket belonging to Tesco, the supermarket belonging to Sainsbury. So the ownership is shown through the use of an apostrophe. In this case, the grocer's is shut. Now here I'm referring to the word shop. The shop belongs to the grocer. There's only one grocer, so the apostrophe goes before the S. However, I don't want to write the word shop, so if I take that out, it is still inferred. And again, very similar to this sentence, do you want to go to Luigi's? The actual restaurateur is Luigi, but the word restaurant is missing. So if I were to put it in here, you now can see that the restaurant belongs to Luigi. There is only one Luigi, so the apostrophe goes before the S. However, we often don't write the word restaurant, but the apostrophe still needs to be there. People often become confused as to whether to put apostrophe in the word it's. Now, if you were to put an apostrophe in the word it's, it means it is or it has. For example, it is a nice day, it has been a nice day. So you need to be very careful and read the whole sentence and decide whether that is what you want to say. Now let's have a look at this example. The table was heavy, its legs were made of metal. Now in this case there is no apostrophe here because the word it's refers to the table. It is a pronoun and it refers to the table. Now think about it. If I put an apostrophe in here, am I saying the table was heavy, its legs were made of metal? Now that doesn't make sense. The table was heavy, its legs were made of metal. That doesn't make sense. So let's delete the apostrophe and keep it as the pronoun. So it is important to think about the way the apostrophe is being used. So here is a summary of the ways that you can use apostrophes for contracted words and to show belonging and ownership. Now I'd like you to test yourself. What I'd like you to do is rewrite these sentences showing either contracted words or belonging. So I'd like you to pause the video now, have a go at rewriting these sentences, and then we'll check your answers at the end. Okay, let's have a look at some of the answers. The goal belonging to David Lewis was great. There's only one David, so the apostrophe goes before the S. The books belonging to the students were put away. Well, they're students. There's more than one. So the rule is the apostrophe goes after the S. The engine belonging to the car was broken. There's only one car, so the apostrophe goes before the S. The tools belonging to the builder were stolen from his shed. There's only one builder, so the apostrophe goes before the S. It is not long before the holidays. We're contracting it is, so we need an apostrophe here. And the tiger stalked its prey. Actually this stays the same because it is actually being used as a pronoun for the tiger, so no apostrophe is needed. Thank you for listening to Teaching English UK. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.